nothing better than after having a very long year of work, than celebrating on a super yacht. So
Okay.
my company.
Hello and welcome back to Chairlift Chatss, the podcast where everyday conversations take flight. We're here to bring you authentic conversations. My name is Chelsea and I'm a host alongside my brother.
James, how you going? Great to be with you.
Today on Chairlift Chatss, we're going to be talking all about the workplace, all right? And we're going to be talking about what it's like to be working in an office, outside on a job site, and also out on the road doing sales, and also in a shop, in a retail space.
Now, I don't know about you or your thoughts about the workplace, but there's a lot of people out there that either love or hate their job. Now, it's a love-hate relationship because it provides the goods to be able to live, and with all the
Go
experiences.
skiing, go
Yeah, it
snowboarding.
provides us with the money necessary to get through life, but it is also something that you love to hate. So I've got a couple of just talking points
Yeah.
that I thought we could bring up. Things that have developed from, in the modern era of working to what we've seen previously in about, the last 10, 20 years. So
Take it away.
we'll start off with phone etiquette.
Ooh, good one.
Now, what are some of your points that you have noticed in the last 10, 15 years has been
Yeah,
a
definitely.
big generational switch to people using their phones a lot, which is a good tool for the workplace, but being very antisocial with it.
Yeah, 100%. Phones are a great tool, but my number one thing with phones is when you're out with people, and whether that be in a social situation or a work situation, if your job, for me, I work in social media and in the interior design world, and my phone comes into play with that a lot. I'm videoing a lot of things, and I'm interviewing people, that sort of thing. But it's so important to know when to use your phone and when not to, essentially, and particularly in social settings. I think it's absolutely crucial that if you're out to lunch or dinner having a meal with someone, do not have your phone on the table,
On the table,
because
yeah.
automatically that is saying that the phone is more important than the conversation that you're having.
100%. And you'll notice a lot of the time people are sitting at the table and they'll get a message that blinks up,
Yeah,
and instantly the phone becomes more important than that person that you're
completely
facing.
shifts the
And
priorities.
it's in the modern era, in my opinion now, I think it's very disrespectful that you can't have, you lose track. And then how often do you just I keep talking, and then the person looks back up at you and goes, "Oh, sorry, I missed that. What was that?"
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hang on a second. Your phone's more important. So if it's more important, why am I bothered talking?
Yeah.
It
It's
is
really rude.
super annoying. And then, but again, like the phone as well can be super handy because
And super social.
yes,
Yeah.
and super social because it's provided, networking and socials and all that kind of thing, which is great. And especially at the snow because
Yeah.
you see there's the Perisher and Threadbow people walking around doing the socials, putting you on camera.
Their photos and their videos are so good every day.
They take photos
They
of
do a
you.
really good job.
Yeah, they take photos of you doing jumps and they upload them, and they're really cool. I love that.
And also for your communication on the snow, I mean, how often is it that you're literally, I remember we'll be going up a T-bar. You did brave going up a T-bar with me again after the incident. If you don't know the incident, go listen to episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
But often I'll do voice memos on the T-bar to tell the rest of the group where we are. Because we often go, when we go to a snow trip, we go with a group and we're like, okay, we'll meet you at the pub at 12 and blah, blah, blah. Really good for that sort of thing. Great for getting content. But another thing about phones that really annoys me is just the total just like lack of care for people and the total unimportance of a situation. It annoys me.
It's bad, but I mean, I just noticed you used to get on the bus or the train. I mean, I think I was probably the last generation of being able to get on the bus, and people would have potentially an iPod or listening to music.
I had an iPod, yeah.
But a lot of the time, you'd have the backseat banter on the bus going to school.
Nothing like
and
it.
there was no phones, there was no computers really, where people were distracted by the technology. It was all about good old fashioned fun, mucking around on the backside of the bus.
I tell you what, the conversations on the school bus are unhinged but great.
Yeah, so and that's where the phone has really, I think, taken away banter and a bit of growing up for kids these days, because you just don't get the. I mean, you got to learn to defend yourself as well. I think there's a lot of bullying that happens on a bus, and nowadays, okay, you could argue that the bullying may have disappeared slightly, but you know, you don't. You just your communication skills are going because of the phone. You know, so it goes both ways.
But I would also say my experience from working in retail is I am constantly serving people in the shop going, oh, can you help me find this? And I go, yeah, of course, you know, more than happy to help. And then I climb up a ladder to get the customers something, and I turn around to hand it to them, and then next thing you know, they're on the phone going, oh, I've got to get, you know, got to check it in with this, or they'll be on the phone, oh, hi darling, yeah, I'm just at the shops, and then they'll say the wrong shop name, and I feel like you're just doing this to annoy me. And then you're helping them and they're just on their phone. It just feels really rude, and I just recommend not to do it. I think just be in the moment. You've got plenty of time to check your phone. If that's so important, go sit down on the chair outside the shop and then come and do what you need to do.
Yeah, 100% agree. Well, that's the phone. But before we finish up on that topic, I just want to finish by saying this is a kind of a cool fact, or a strange, interesting fact that I found on the internet. But have you ever noticed the symbol on the back of an iPhone, which is the Apple logo with a bit of a chunk taken out of it?
Yeah, a bite.
Yeah, just a little bite. I find it funny that if you go back years and years and years ago, all the way back to the first time man was in existence, Adam and Eve, what was the first sin that was ever done?
Eating the forbidden fruit.
Exactly. And what was the biggest company ever in existence up until the year of right now, 2024? Apple and phones. So I find it very strange and interesting that one of the biggest technology companies and the biggest company in the world is Apple technology, but yet the very first sin that ever came into the world was an apple.
Eating
the forbidden fruit. I find that there's just something interesting there. Although it's a very useful device, there's also
We've all got them.
We've all got them. It's also, I think, a bit spooky. There's a bit of a spooky thought.
Yeah,
so
no, that is interesting. That's something to ponder.
Something to ponder. So anyways, we'll move on to the job site.
Yep.
So
we've grown up in a family of tradies.
Yes.
So I feel like our dinner conversations are full of these kind of stories.
Yep. And I did an apprenticeship in landscape construction, and I got to meet a lot of different people on the job sites.
Yeah.
But I think that's the different workplace chats that we got to have on site were just priceless. Even though the poor guys, we slog ourselves out silly in the sun and in the cold of winter, it is absolutely so fun. Some of the chats and the banter that we have on site. I'll give you a few sort of
take it away, James.
Bosses being mean or like having a bit of fun on the job site. So I've seen these as videos. This didn't happen to me personally, but I did see these. So the left-handed screwdriver.
Oh yeah.
When the boss is obviously feeling frustrated and just wants the apprentice to disappear.
So give us some context, James, of what that would be like.
So
you know, is it in the way? I mean, I know this one, but is it okay? The boss is feeling a bit frustrated or something, and you know, ask the apprentice, can you just go find me the bloomin' left-handed screwdriver?
Yep. Can you exactly? That's literally the context.
And there is no such thing as a left-handed.
There is no such thing as a left-handed screwdriver, but every young apprentice out there has probably been done by it, because they say it in a way that's like, okay, I'm going to use Jack as an example here. Jack, quick, it's urgent, mate. Go to the toolbox. I need that left-handed screwdriver. I need it right now. Go and get it. Jack, hurry up. It's urgent. And the apprentice, if you look on there, oh, okay, I'll do it. No worries. I'll go find it. And, you know, I feel for anyone.
It's mean.
It is very mean, but it's also quite entertaining. Oh. And then I'll throw in another example here. The brick bender.
Oh, no. Okay, so what task are you doing where you would need the brick bender?
Okay, well, bricklayers. So
Yep.
as a landscaper, you usually labour for the brickies that might be there on site, whether that be making mixes
Ricky
or
the Bricky.
yeah, that's it. You'll be mixing mud and just doing the general duties for the guys laying the bricks. Now, when you're laying bricks, you can't bend a physical brick. You just can't. You can't do it.
You can
But
try.
the bricklayers, if anyone's met a brickie, you'll know just how funny and aggressive that they can be, and they will say to you again, same situation. James, go and get me that brick bender. I need it right now. It's urgent. I'm stuck. We can't finish building this house unless I get that brick bender. Go and get it right now. I'm like, okay, yeah, right. I knew it was bullcrap, but
Yeah, that one's a bit.
it's sometimes you can tell, and you just got to use your brain a little bit. But I can tell that would get some people. And then I'll finish on one. There was a guy on YouTube who I saw. I don't know who it was, but he said to his apprentice, "I need you to go drive the car to the RTA because you're not qualified and you haven't got your wheelbarrow license."
Oh no.
If that was me, I would have said no problem at all. It gets me out of working for probably half a day because
To go to the blooming
whenever you go to the
RTA.
bloody RTA, it takes you 4
Number
hours.
W364. Please go to counter 12.
Oh, it's so funny.
bad.
It's hilarious though. And I've seen a poor guy literally turn up to the RTA with a wheelbarrow
No.
and ask for a license.
He did. He
did.
didn't turn up with the wheelbarrow.
He turned up with the wheelbarrow. Look it up on YouTube. It's there.
Okay, we'll have to share
We
that.
might try and share that
Yeah, we'll have
because
to share it.
it's a very funny video.
Yeah. So as well as working on job sites, you've worked in another lifetime in offices as well.
I have worked as a estimator before in an office.
What's an estimator?
Estimation of construction and landscape projects. So
Okay, yeah.
you're the guy who has been
Doing the costings.
tasked with the costings, and the job's been inquired to the company that you work for.
Yeah.
And then it's up to that estimator to quote the project and come up with all the costings for the job.
Okay.
You get it wrong, it can cost millions of dollars. You get it right, it can make you millions of dollars. So
I see.
there's a fine line.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chelsea, run us through. You've also worked in an office before.
I have worked in offices, and my experience working in offices is that
Tell us about some of the chats and the conversations that you have around the workplace.
okay, well, around the office workplace, if you're in like a commercial building, one thing you will always get a visit from is the coffee van.
Love the coffee cart.
It's the best part of the day. Majority, I think the whole time that I worked in an office, I probably bought 2 hot chocolates in that time. But I went to the coffee van every day.
Because they're expensive.
They are expensive, but I was just going to get out, actually meet the people I was working in the office with, get to know them on a bit more of a personal level. Because I feel like when you're in an office, sometimes it's just like go, go, go. It can be very same. But getting out, you find out about people's dogs, their goldfish, their kids and things like that. It's really nice on a personal level, and you just get to have some authentic chats and kind of have some work banter too. It's really good, but it's also such a waste of time. Like, I do not get that in retail at all.
Well, I feel like the workplace, it was always entertaining at times, but it made work a real hassle to go into an office, specifically if you're doing something where you can easily do it from home. I was a person who always liked to work from home because you can always get more done.
I always feel more productive.
No one
at home,
coming in and going, "Hey, so did you check this out, or did you see what happened here?" Or it kind of annoyed me.
The days where I'm ever in the office, I do enjoy. Like, of course, I enjoy getting out and socializing with people, seeing the world, whatever. But just the amount of talking that we do in the office.
But if you're a boss out there,
we just talk a lot.
And if you're a boss out there and you don't go to the office very often, just a word of advice. You might want to just peel your eyes out. And look, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I think workplace banter in the office is actually a good thing.
Oh, it's good. And I think it makes for a stronger team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It does.
I'm all for it.
But it is a big time waster. So I'm sure there's plenty of bosses out there. Just have a scan through the office and just see what your employees are doing. The coffee machine, a lot of chats happen around there. The coffee cart, the photocopier. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's always broken.
It's always broken. Or can you just the cute receptionist at the front. Can you just give me a hand with the photocopier, please?
Could you carry this for me?
Or can you just give me a hand to get some documents down to the car for me? I've seen that move made a
Oh, the
few times.
workplace romance.
There's plenty of workplace romances going on. So very entertaining.
But actually, this brings me to our act of kindness for the week. I wanted to center it around the episode workplaces, and I'm all for having a strong team of people who can be themselves and have fun with each other, get good work done, be productive. So my act of kindness for the week is to bring a sweet treat to your work friends.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, so I know you would really appreciate
A
some
lolly
lollies.
or a bicky.
Yeah,
Is anything like that?
I think that's great. Or my favorite is always muffins, double points if well 10 times points if they're homemade that morning. Finger buns from Baker's Delight, chocolates, just any of those feel good foods. That's my act of kindness for the week, and you'll
Love
bring your
that.
team together.
Love that. And it is team building.
It absolutely
You know,
is.
and I
Yeah.
think that's important. You got to have those chats. You got to be, and it starts a conversation. If you do like someone in the office, bring them a muffin or a couple of lollies, and that is the best way to say, "Hey, do you want to go out with me?"
Or if you're struggling with a colleague, sometimes it takes a while for people to open up to you as well. And I
Yeah,
think by doing that gesture, it works in the sense of finding out the coffee order of the people in the office, and you can prepare them a coffee or get them the cup of tea that they
100%.
like.
And I mean, we could go on for hours talking about the office workplace,
The
but
office.
let's move on to yeah. Well, just watch The Office, and you'll get an idea of.
Don't.
They created a full series out of it, so it's hilarious
Oh
what goes
man.
on. But you have also worked retail, so let's
Yes.
talk about the Karens now, and just define Karen as well. What is a Karen? And we're not bagging that name out, by the way, but they've got a bit of a bad rep for being that type of person.
It's not the name Karen, it's the characteristics of a Karen,
Yes.
okay? A Karen is generally a woman in a shop, I'm going to say 35 plus. Uh,
Yeah, 35 plus and a wanker. No
Look,
other way to describe it.
they like to complain. They're very vocal about what they do and don't like. I will go up to some. I'm in a homeware shop that I've worked at. I'll go up to them. Good morning. How are you today? What can I help you find in the shop? They go, no, I don't need any help, thank you. And then you walk away. Excuse me, I need this thing from the very top of the ladder. It's that kind of thing.
Uh,
It's also
so entitled.
it's just rude, actually. I in retail, unfortunately, working retail, I have met some really lovely people. I have, and I like to focus more on the good points. But sometimes I come home from retail and go, "Oh my gosh, I have lost my hope in people." But then the good times really make up for that and prove me otherwise. But the one thing that really gets to me in a shop, okay, say you're at the checkout, you're buying things, okay, you're on your phone, you've lost points. Next thing, I ask you if you're a member at our store, and I'll say, okay, I'll go, oh yeah, okay, just that one there, those sheets, yeah, okay, so they are down from $169.95 to $99.95, okay. I'll put your membership in. What's your email? 0452 blah 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 blah. I go, that's your email? Okay, great. Look, it's actually not coming up. Oh, we'll try my work phone number. I said, that's your email, isn't it? So just listen to the shopkeeper, okay? Just have a bit of respect there.
I think the
Take your time, take a breath.
retail is probably one of the hardest jobs that you can do because when it's slow, I can imagine it being really difficult. But when it's fast paced and you get a couple of really nice people and a couple of nice chats going, it can be good.
Like, for instance, I had a lovely lady the other day who came in with some hand towels that she bought from us previously, and she had actually added her own crochet to it.
Nice.
And it was really beautiful. And I took photos of it, and then I just helped her find some new ones. But it was just so lovely that she brought in her project on like how she kind of upgraded what she bought from our shop and how she wanted to keep doing it. And she brought it in to show us. Also, some customers bring in pictures of the products that they've bought to show them how they've styled it. So I really love to look at the good moments, and I really think it has given me so much confidence in my life, and I feel a much stronger person because of it. I feel like I work as an actor, and I feel like I have so much more character experience now. And every time I have an audition come through, or just doing some practice in acting class of a Karen type character, I'm like, oh yeah, I experienced this the other day. So it's turning. It's how you react to
It's
things.
turning a negative into a positive, and
Yeah.
that's what you got to do with retail. You got to
and just life.
make the best of a bad situation. But we'll move on. So there is one more workplace that I think is important to talk about, and that's the people that are out on the road each day.
Yeah.
They're the sales representatives of a business, and in my opinion, it's one of the most enjoyable parts to any kind of workplace, because you get a little bit of both. You get the work from home maybe, or
Yeah.
the work from the office, as well as out on the road meeting new people every day. And just the chats that you can have over the phone with some of your work colleagues.
That's another thing I want to point
Is
out with
so
the
fun.
phone, though, is everyone just text messages these days.
Yes, they do.
And I just want to say, don't be afraid of a
pick
phone
up,
call.
Pick up the phone and call me. I don't want to be text, just because then you got to deal with Siri, and Siri stuffs up all the time in the car. Because especially for us,
Oh, yeah, because when you text someone and
Yeah,
they'll spell their name wrong or
exactly.
something.
So I prefer just get on the phone, give me a buzz. We with like the workplace, you're always having a really good chat with your work buddies, just about your weekend, what's coming up.
It just builds that relationship,
And
brings more authentic chats.
Yeah, it's good workplace banter, and then nothing better than after having a very long year of work, then celebrating on a super yacht. So
Okay.
my company last, when I was with them a few years ago, we went on a super yacht, and this was one of the most insane experiences I have ever had. Unlimited drinks, all you can eat. Drove around Darling Harbour, that's in Sydney, by the way, and it was just
Just so nice.
just great fun. So that's where the workplace can be tremendous.
And also, when you are working on the road as a rep, you're often working really independently. Usually there's no office space either, or you'll have to, you travel every now and then to the office space.
Macca's can be your office.
Yes, yeah.
Literally, if you need internet.
McDonald's. But having the phone connections, just calling other reps who are doing the same thing, makes you feel you're not alone. You have a team, you have a support network. And the same goes for your personal life. I think sometimes things get lost in translation in these emails going back and forth, same with text messages. Pick up the phone and have a clear, authentic conversation.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up the podcast. Chelsea, I've noticed you've put in a really nice quote here in some of my notes. So finish off with the beautiful quote, and then tell us about our socials and call to actions.
All right. The quote of the week that I want you to take with you into the rest of your week. Life is not being rich, being popular, being highly educated, or being perfect. It is about being real, being humble, and being kind.
That's a great way to finish
What
it.
a way to live your life.
Awesome.
All right. Socials, though, Chairlift Chatss. I'll post more quotes on our Instagram.
Plenty more quotes. Yeah, plenty more quotes.
Plenty more quotes. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram, TikTok, all at Chairlift Chatss with 2 S's at the end. You can also email us at chairliftchatts with a double S at gmail.com. Recently just joined Threads with Instagram as well, which is a bit like the Twitter of Instagram. It's really cute. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for listening. This has been Chairlift Chatss.
Bye.